What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I am Sunny Brooks. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're talking about how to be that girl, but not any girl, that spiritual girl. So I wanted to do this video because I see a lot of people doing the how to be that girl, but I don't just want to be any kind of girl. I want to be very spiritual because I believe our spiritual affects our emotional, our mental, our physical, and all of that. So this video is going to be about how to be that spiritual girl. So how to be that girl spiritually. I believe that girl is the girl that people kind of look up to, admire, and she's inspirational. She has a great balance. I would say more so alignment because I kind of really don't believe in balance. But anyways, she's in alignment. She moves with grace. She moves with ease. And she's connected not only to herself, but to the spiritual realm, to her ancestors, to her spiritual community. She is like well connected and well respected, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna go over some tips. I hope this video isn't too long, but if it is, y'all stick with me, and I promise it's gonna be good. The first tip to being that spiritual girl is to dive deep into learning. Like, really put your head in the books, in the videos, research, find topics that you're interested in, and really learn about it, because you don't really know which way or which path you want to take, or the things you may want to believe in if you want to find a new belief or something. So the best way to do that is really dive deep into different topics. If you're into crystals, chakras, if you're into, let's say, shadow work, if you're into like the Akashic records, ancestor veneration, whatever it is, dive deep into something and really learn about anything that you're interested in. This is the time. Go down the rabbit hole. It could be information overload, but take it a step at a time and dive deep into different topics. I still dive deep into different topics. If I find something that is interesting, I'm gonna learn, like I'm going to research it, and then I might be like, I kind of believe in that, or I don't believe in that, or it's not for me, or like my daddy used to always say, eat the fish, spit the bones out. So yeah. Second tip is to really explore yourself in a deep way, like yourself. Explore yourself in a very deep spiritual way, and find something to believe in. When I say a deep spiritual way, like really dive deep into like, what do I believe in? What feels right to me? What, makes me feel yucky? What are the things that I know are true? What are the things that maybe like I was taught by my parents or my grandparents, but I don't necessarily believe that? Like I'm just believing it or going with it because of tradition or because of it has been passed down. So really explore yourself in a deep spiritual way, and find something to believe in. When I say find something to believe in, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe that higher power name is God or Allah or spirit or divine, whatever, believe in that. If you believe in ancestors, if you believe in spirit guides, if you believe in angels, if you believe in aliens, right? Whatever you believe in, like find something to believe in, because I believe at the root of our spirituality is our beliefs, our values, the things that we value and the things we really believe in. So if we have something we believe in, we can add to that, but we have our like core foundation, right? Okay. The third tip is really have some time set aside for you, right? Just for you. Nobody else, nothing else, for you. So this could be a morning routine, an evening routine, a lunch routine, whatever. Just have some time where you dedicate just to you, like not to anybody else, not to doing anything, because at the root of our spiritual foundation, being that spiritual girl, we have to be able to spend time with ourselves, being able to sit in our own company, being able to quiet the outside noise, being able to like not always doing for other people, but being able to be with ourselves. And when we have a set time, well, not set, because it doesn't have to be like scheduled and like consistent time, but it could be a set time that you have for yourself that allows you to really dive into your spiritual practice, that allows you to study your spiritual beliefs, or to really just be in your own spiritual foundation, right? This could be a morning routine. You could use this time to practice your spirituality, to to tap into whatever you believe, like I just covered, whatever it is, but you need to have some time set aside truly just for you. I believe being that spiritual girl, you're going to need that time because you're going to need to unplug from the world. You're going to need to stop doing for you or other people. Sometimes you're just gonna have to be right in order to really tap into that spiritual side of you, because there's so much noise out in the world. Which brings me to my next point. My next tip for being that spiritual girl is to tap into your intuition, tap into your higher self, but basically unplug yourself and turn off the noise, right? So this could be like a meditation practice, this could be prayer, this could be like a silence practice, whatever it is, but you really are tapping into your intuition and tapping into your higher self to guide your next steps, to give you clarity, to give you confirmation on what you're doing. Really tuning out the noise. It could get noisy, y'all. We could be listening to something all the time, whether it's music, podcasts, talk shows. We could always be watching something, whether it's YouTube, TV shows, movies. You could always be talking to somebody, whether it's a lover, a friend, a family member. Like, it's a lot of noise. And not only that, social media. Social media is noise, whether it's like actual physical noise or just noise from like, it's noisy. But you have to unplug yourself and quiet the noise so you can really tap into yourself by having some sort of practice to do that, okay? The fifth tip to being that spiritual girl is practicing gratitude, like really savoring the little things. The small things is what gets us to the next day. Like, it is the small things. I know our lives may not be where we want them to be. We may not have what we want to have. We may not be on the path we want to, but understand that it is something to always be grateful for. Example, I walked outside. I was walking Chase this morning, and I walked past someone who have a hibiscus plant, and they had two big, beautiful, like, blooms, and I'm like, dang, my hibiscus plant hasn't bloomed in a few days. I'm kind of like, whatever. Like, I'm kind of mad, jealous. So I come home, I'm like, I need to water my plants anyway. So I come and I'm watering. When I went outside to water the plant, one of my hibiscus was like huge. And I like literally, as I'm like walking out, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I called my wife. I'm like, babe, look at the plant. Look at the flower. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It is that. I was so grateful and so appreciative in that moment for that flower. It's the small things, and that made my day, right? But that's just an example. Really show gratitude for the small things and savor the little things, because if we always are focusing on the big things or what we don't have or who we could be or what we should be doing, we can lose track, right? The next tip on how to be that spiritual girl, I would say, is to really like embrace yourself, like fully embrace yourself, fully love yourself, your emotions, your beliefs, everything about you, even the things that you don't think is acceptable, the things that you don't think is pretty, the things that you don't think is glamorized. Like, really love yourself. How can you be that girl, or even that spiritual girl, any type of girl? If you want to be that girl, how can you be that if you are not loving yourself, if you have not fully embraced yourself, if you are not accepting of yourself? If we are running around trying to be everybody, or trying to do everything like everybody else, or trying to be everything to everybody, and we aren't really fully ourselves and loving ourselves and embodying our self-worth, if we're not fully embodying our self-worth and really fully loving ourselves and embracing ourselves, our emotions, everything about us, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of those things in between, how can we be that girl? How can we be inspirational? How can we really tap into our spiritual beliefs? How can we really move in our spirit if we cannot embrace who we are and what we are? Okay? The next tip for being that spiritual girl is to have a spiritual community. This is one of the difficult things on the path, especially when it comes to beliefs, because everybody don't believe what you believe in, and everybody don't, move how you move. But when it comes to being spiritual or really tapping into that spiritual side, it is being able to surround yourself around people that don't share the same beliefs as you. I'm not talking about people that are disrespectful, people that are very nasty to you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you could be around people that have their own beliefs, but you are able to get something spiritually from this circle or from this community that you may not be able to get from other places. But y'all may not believe in the exact same things. And I believe when you are rooted and fully embrace yourself and fully love yourself, like I previously mentioned, you are able to accept people in their truth. People that are walking walking and moving in their truth. So having a spiritual community is very key to being that spiritual girl, because you're able to give but also receive. It is it's reciprocity. It is a mutually beneficial community, not only something where you're showing up and just giving, right? Okay. The next tip for being that spiritual girl is being open to new things, being open to like the signs of the universe, and just being open to deeper meanings of things, right? So when I say being open, not being closed-minded, not being not just because, oh, I used to believe this, or I never knew that to be true, you don't believe it. Like, be open, because one thing about this spiritual journey, baby, baby, you're gonna see some things, hear some things, feel some things that are very new. And if you are not open, and if you're closed off and closed-minded, you cannot get what you need from this experience, or what you need from this thing in that moment. Be open to the signs, right? You know, the synchronicities, the angel numbers like people use, the seeing different spirit animals. Be open to the different signs that the universe will send you, because if you are closed-minded, or if you're just like, oh, that doesn't mean anything, listen, it be the small little signs that get you through your day, or that's the little confirmation you need. And also really be open to the deeper meaning of things. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you see a blue jay, maybe go look up what the blue jay mean. Why is the blue jay coming to you this day or at this time, right? If someone, like, if you thought of someone, dig deeper into that. And I believe being that spiritual girl, you're able to dig deeper in things, and you will like naturally dig deeper in things that, you know, your average person won't. They just will, like, whatever, which goes along with the gratitude thing, because you're savoring the small things. So all of the small things, you know, there are meanings. Like I used about my flower, I know that was a meaning in that. Like, my eyes was on somebody else's prize, but I didn't even know my flower was over here blooming, right? I'm like, dang, how they flower bloom? They got 2 blooms. I don't even have one, and I ain't have some in a few days. When, look, I had one. I just was worried about somebody else's stuff, and I wasn't worried about mine, okay? And it was once I realized and started watering my own garden, when I went out there and said, okay, I'm gonna water my own garden, that I realized my flower was blooming, right? That is the deeper meaning in things, what I mean. That's the perfect example, okay? The next tip for being that spiritual girl is to find a way to express your truths, right? This could be journaling. And when I say journaling, you could do voice journals, you could do writing journals. This could be maybe singing. This could be dancing. This could be creating art. Like, being a creative being and expressing your truths, I believe, is at the center of being that spiritual girl, right? Because I believe when you fully embody your spirituality, you are creative. You create without even knowing you're creating, right? You create with your mouth, right? You create with your voice, because you're manifesting things all the time. But finding a way to express your truths, I think is very important and very crucial to your creativity and to your spiritual journey. The next tip is to really have fun with your spiritual journey. Like, laugh, have fun. Like, it's not so serious. Don't get me wrong. There are times where you have to be serious. There are times that, you know, you shouldn't probably be laughing and stuff and joking around. But spirituality is about fun. Like, it is about having fun. It is about freedom. And when we are free, we have fun. So have fun with spirituality, right? Like, take it light, if that makes sense. Like, don't take yourself too serious, right? Just calm down. Like, have fun. I don't know how to explain it, like express it enough. Like, I will even have fun with my ancestors. I'm like, okay, ancestors, if y'all want something at the grocery store, you better make it known. Don't just make me think about it. Make it known. And I'm walking by stuff and shit falling off the shelf. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. You know, so just make things fun. If it's numbers like in the clouds, if you like, oh my gosh, let me see what I can find in the clouds, whatever it is, just make it fun, and don't make it so daunting and so like spiritual heavy, like where you feel like you can't have fun and you can't really express yourself, and everything is so serious, and you're like do like that. Like, just calm down, okay? Next tip is really tap into the spiritual world and actually practice your beliefs. What do I mean by that? When I say tap into the spiritual world, you can be like getting readings, doing divinations, you can like be pulling cards, you can whatever you do to tap into the spiritual realm, right? Maybe doing dream work, doing meditation, that you maybe tap into the ethers, whatever you do, but really tap into the spiritual world. How can we be that spiritual girl if we're not connecting to the things that we believe in the things that are, you know, outside of us? I'm talking about internally too. When I say higher self and intuition, like we have to tap into that. Yes, we are always connected. Yes, we are always tapped in, but really tapping into it, like setting an intention to tap into it. And practicing the beliefs. So whatever your beliefs is, like you got to actually practice them. Like, how can you believe in them if you don't practice them, right? In order to be that spiritual girl, you have to practice it. If you believe that candle magic is it, how about you need to be probably doing candle magic rituals? If you believe that spirits speak every Sunday, maybe you need to sit down and be quiet every Sunday. That may be the practice, whatever it is. But really tap into the spiritual world and also practice your beliefs. Side note, setting intentions is also very important to being that spiritual girl. This is not one of the things that I have, but just thought about it. Setting intentions on things that you do. You're not just moving through the world just intentionless. I don't know if that's a word. Is that a word? Intentionalist? I don't know. But I made it up. You have to really set intentions on things you do. You cooking a meal, you making a smoothie, you going to the gym, you driving your car. Set intentions. Like, it don't have to be, okay, all right, I'm making this smoothie to heal my, like, you ain't got to do it all at like, okay, I'm making this smoothie for my body to get all the nutrients in it. Whatever it is, but setting intentions is very important on the spiritual journey and very important to being that spiritual girl, because you're not out here aimlessly. You are very intentionally. Okay? The next tip I have is to be inspirational and help others. Being inspirational, like you are a living embodiment of your beliefs. You are a walking embodiment of your values, of your spiritual practices, right? Really being an inspiration. Be like you moving, like I'm not saying put the pressure, like it ain't like you gotta be bearing the load. What I'm saying is you moving as if you're an inspiration. I feel like when you know that people are inspired by you, or you're trying to inspire people, you move differently and you're really tapped into the spiritual world and you're really connected to the spiritual world, because you know how to be inspirational in that moment. You know how to be or what to say in a moment to the people around you, and the only how you can do that is when you're tapped in, right? So being that spiritual girl is really being an inspiration to others and helping others, whether it's just like you see somebody, things fall out their basket and you help them by picking it up. If you see somebody struggling, you help them. Or if it's something that you know you can do, like monetarily or like with clothes or something you're doing, like really helping others and being an inspiration is truly important on the spiritual journey. But truly, like, how can you be that spiritual girl and we can't sit with you? Like, be inspirational and help others. The next tip I have is to integrate spirituality in all parts of your life, right? All parts of your life, not just like, okay, only doing my morning routine. Spirituality is not just your morning routine. Spirituality and being spiritual is like your living, breathing body, like what you do on an everyday basis all day. It may just be something like, you know, you go into the grocery store, that like integrate your spirituality in it. I don't know how to explain it further, but know that your spirituality is not just set to a specific practice at a specific time. Integrate spirituality in all things you do, everywhere you go, with all people you interact with, because being that spiritual girl is you are a living, breathing embodiment of your spiritual practices, your spiritual beliefs, and your spiritual journey. So you cannot subject it to just a small portion of your day. It is who you are, so it should be in all that you do, everywhere you are, right? Okay. What I truly want to say about being that spiritual girl, these are like I went over some tangibles and things, but these things are very like, it's kind of value driven, if that makes sense. But you truly have to learn how to forgive. Forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, forgiving circumstances, but forgiveness is really important to being that spiritual girl. Not holding grudges, not being hateful, not intentionally being evil to others. Like, just really moving with grace and forgiving, because you know that we are all human. We make mistakes and we are all learning together, right? Moving and being truly honest. I believe honesty is important in spirituality, and being honest is important to being that spiritual girl, because you can't be out here living a lie. Like, you can't be lying. Well, you can, but you shouldn't be out here living a lie. Like, be authentic, be unapologetic, like, be honest, show up as you, speak your truth, like, speak from your truth, be truthful. Don't be out here lying, right? Next thing is being patient. Like, I'm talking to me, y'all. The patience is me. It's for me. It's me. Like, my fire signs out there, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Anybody got a lot of fire in their charts? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But being patient, like, not getting agitated, irritated, annoyed, aggravated, all of the eights, right? Like, not really being that way. Being patient, not only in the moment, maybe like waiting in line at the grocery store, but being patient in life, knowing that life will reveal itself. Life will happen, right? Life be lifing. We have to be patient with life. We have to be patient with ourselves, with others. And I believe when we are patient with ourselves, we know how to be patient with others, okay? And last but certainly not least, release yourself of any envy and jealousy. We cannot be trying to be, is my camera crooked? I think, girl, why y'all ain't tell me? I was out here sliding to the left. So if y'all just saw me kept sliding, girl, I thought we was friends. What happened? Okay. Release yourself of any envy and jealousy. Like, this is your journey. You are how you should be in this moment. Not saying we can't better ourselves, but this is your journey. And comparing yourself, being envious, being jealous, all of these things, like, it's going to make your journey hard and difficult. So to be that spiritual girl, be free of envy and jealousy. Like, this is your life. This is your life. You get one of them. And if you're busy worried about what other people are doing, jealous and envious of what other people have and what they don't have and things like this, like, who's living your life? And you don't know what people had to go through, what they had to sacrifice, what they are dealing with to have this thing. So be happy with your life. Be really joyous with your life. When I think of being that spiritual girl, some people may consider me as that spiritual girl. But to be honest, it is me just dedicating every day to me being true to me being true to spirit. For me, like, I am in service to other people, and I keep me at the forefront. And I believe the heart of our spirituality and the heart of our spiritual journeys is ourselves. And when we are true to ourselves, when we are living and speaking and breathing our truth, we are connected to spirit, because we are a breathing spirit. We are human spirits, right? We are here in human form, but we're very spiritual. We are a spirit in human form. So when we are speaking and breathing our truth, we are living examples and living physical examples of what spirit can be, which makes us that spirit girl, that spiritual girl, right? So let me know which one of these stuck out to you, which one maybe surprised you. I know this may have been a long video, or maybe one of those that's like kind of cliche, but I wanted to give real examples and real tips that wasn't so like, burn your sage, have crystals with you all the time. Like, of course I could say those things and say make sure you have incense, but I'm talking about spirituality at its core as a movement, and not necessarily as tools that we're using, right? So of course have these products, but I didn't want this to be about products. So y'all let me know which one spoke out to y'all. And just know this, we are all that spiritual person. It is just up to us to start walking and breathing that way. Until we meet again, I'll see you later. I love you. Bye.